Greetings, Doom Tubers. Doomwaves here. I've got more pickups here than is probably healthy, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. Sorry, I'm back to my webcam. For some reason my phone will not allow me to upload the videos anymore like I used to. So for now, we'll have to deal with it this way. I've got pickups here ranging from almost every form of media that exists. I've got some books, I've got some music, some film, some video games, and some comics. I don't have any newspapers or magazines, but I got like everything else. So we will get started. I'll get started with the books. There's nothing crazy exciting here, but some good ones here. One of my favorite authors of all time is Orson Scott Card. He wrote the Ender series and the Shadow series. But he also wrote this series called the Homecoming series. And my local junk store, I found two volumes of this. I don't know how many volumes are in the story actually, but I found volume 2, The Call of Earth, and I also found volume 4 called Earthfall. So I picked up both of those. Sadly, I didn't get 1 or 3. He was closing that day. Like, I was there towards closing time, so I didn't get a chance to look as long as I wanted to, but they might be there. I don't know. And another book, I paid 50 cents each for those. Another book I found there for a quarter. It's a film that I would really like to see, and book based on the film, and that's 2001: A Space Odyssey. I paid 25 cents for that. I'd really like to watch that movie and read that book. So yeah, that's those books, and I got a couple hardbacks here. This is a hardback that an excellent YouTuber by the name of Dustin Christ put on his top 10 book lists. And this book has been on my book list for a long time as one that I need to pick up so I can read it. And I found it really cheap, and I've got that last recommendation from Mr. Christ to read it, and that is Dune by Frank Herbert, and I paid 75 cents for this really awesome hardback copy of it, so I'm looking forward to getting into that sometime. Next is another hardback. I bought this at my town's local library, having a book sale, and I'm not sure why they threw this copy out. It's a really common book, and I actually have the paperback of this book with the movie cover on it, but I was happy to go ahead and find Aragon. So, yeah, picked up Aragon for $1 at the book sale today. And last but not least for the books, this is also at the book sale today. I thought this was really awesome. I like reading this kind of stuff. It's a nonfiction. It's Standard Dictionary of Folklore, Mythology, and Legend. And this thing is huge. It's got all kinds of stuff, most of which I can't pronounce. Lots of big words, with all kinds of mythology and folklore and legends from all different walks of life, all different parts of the world. It's pretty cool. It's a huge book. So yeah, I was glad I picked that up. Paid $1 for that as well. And now we'll move on to some movies. Show the VHS I picked up first. A couple that I picked up just on a whim, actually. All 3 of these I'm going to show I picked up on a whim. They were $1 each. I don't know anything about this first one. It's an animated film from the 80s called Star Chaser, The Legend of Orin. It just looked kind of cool. The back cover's got some cool pictures on it. So I don't know. It might totally suck. I don't know. I was willing to risk it, I guess, for $1. And then something that I'm surprised I haven't seen yet, because I'm a big fan of the movie series, and that's the Animatrix. It's a collection of short films based on the Matrix, and I'm shocked I've still not seen it, so I went ahead and picked that up. And then lastly, another Mr. Christ recommendation on his top 10 guilty pleasure movies. He had Starship Troopers, and I checked that out, and so I checked out his video, so I went and bought Starship Troopers for $1. So luckily I didn't spend too much on it, just in case it sucks. Sorry, Justin. But I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, next I will show my last VHS pickup. It's a box set, actually, and I paid $2 for this, and it's definitely worth it. One of the greatest shows, if not my favorite show of all time, 6 Feet Under, the complete first season on VHS. I love this show. Good show. I'm excited to delve back into it. And I think I could pick up actually all 5 seasons of it on DVD for like $70. So I probably will crack and do that at some point, because it is definitely worth it. At my local Dollar General for, I want to say, right around $5, brand new, not used. Like, they have a lot of used DVDs in there too, but this one was actually brand new. It's Fantastic Four: The Silver Surfer. It's a special edition, so I thought that was pretty cool. Check that out. I still haven't seen either one of these films, actually, either one of the Fantastic Four films, so I need to get the first one also and watch it, and then watch the second one. I haven't watched it yet. And then also at the local Dollar General for about the same price, but I think this one was actually used. It's Captain America. I think it was my last pickups video where I was going gaga over the Avengers, so I picked up Captain America for like $5, I think. And then lastly, for the movies, I picked up something awesome. I was at a garage sale today. Yeah, garage sale in mid-October. I was a little surprised. She wanted $10 for this, and it was definitely worth $10. But I haggled her down a little bit because I didn't have $10, and I really wanted to leave with this, and I did. It's Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings, special extended DVD edition. They made one of these for all 3 films. It's a very nice box set of the first film. I love that picture on the back. Mine's Moria. Moria, not without the voice crack. Moria. And it's got the special extended DVD edition and the appendices, which I'm assuming is some sort of a documentary, because it says Part 1, Part 2, from vision to or from book to vision, and from vision to reality. It's got a 2-disc set there, and then a 2-disc set for the film, because it's an extended edition. And I have actually never seen the extended edition, and I'm very excited. I'll probably have to call in to work one day just to watch this whole thing. I actually think that the first one, I don't know, it's a tough decision. I'm glad that I found the special edition of the first one first, because it's the first one. Especially glad it wasn't the second one, because the second one seemed kind of long and drawn out to me anyway. But I really like the third one, so I'm really not sure whether I like the first one or the third one better. Return of the King is awesome, but I think Fellowship is probably the best. Okay, that was it for the movies. Now moving on, music is next. Picked up some CDs and some vinyl, just 4 CDs, nothing crazy special. Just the first 3 here were $3.99 each. That's why I bought them. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have, because I wasn't really looking for these. The last one I paid full price for, but I was looking for it. So these other 3 were just kind of a bonus, just because they were cheap. But they were brand new. I bought them at a Hastings, but they actually weren't used, which is great. You could buy used CDs in Hastings, but these were $3.99 new. Rush's first album, their bluesy type album. And then I bought Rush's Power Windows. I'm not very familiar, and I still haven't listened to this yet. I'm actually not that familiar with this album. I hear about it quite a bit, Power Windows. I've heard Mystic Rhythms. That's the only song on there I've heard knowingly. I might have heard some others, just, whatever. And then I bought Helmet's Meantime. This is a great album. Very heavy, but not overly heavy. Just really heavy, groovy. It's really good. And then the last one that I got here is King Crimson's In the Court of the Crimson King. This is the one I was actually looking for. Well, I was just looking for anything King Crimson on CD, and this is the only one they had. I actually wanted Red. Red is my favorite King Crimson album, and the only way I have it is on MP3, and I really would like to add it to my actual physical collection, both on CD and vinyl. I would like them both, actually. So I need to find that someday. It's not too expensive either. I've looked it up on eBay, and I think a vinyl goes for around $15-20, something like that. And like I said, I did pick up a couple of vinyls here at Hastings also. I'm kind of happy that some of these record stores that are still in business are actually selling new vinyl now too. I think that's pretty cool. But I'd actually like to go to, a store that specializes in vinyl so I can find more, because it was a very small selection. But I did find the Misfits Collection 1. I'm not the world's biggest Misfits fan, but I do have this on CD also, and so I know that it's good. So I know it's a good collection, and I just want to go ahead and add it to the vinyl collection. But this is the kind of piece, since I do have it on CD already, that I would really consider just like framing, because I am a big fan of this Misfits album, even though it's a greatest hits. And yeah, I do like Danzig Misfits. I don't like anything post Danzig. I think it's just garbage. But once again, purely an opinion. Okay, go back in there. There you go. Okay, and then lastly for music, I picked up Tool's Undertow on vinyl. Same deal with Undertow. I have a burned copy of Undertow. I had the CD at one point on my computer. It's gone now, long gone. So I had to make myself a copy of it. But I do have it on vinyl now. But I probably won't be actually listening to this vinyl very often, just because I do have it on other formats. Once again, just another vinyl collection piece. Okay, comic books are next, and video games are last. Once again, I picked these up at Hastings. I paid 99 cents a piece for these, and I got 5. 5 just kind of, or 4 of them are just kind of, I don't want to say filler, because I am glad to have them, but they are just for my collection. I will read them, but I am collecting, or trying to collect I have a full collection of X-O-Man of War, and so I found 4 comics to put in that collection. And one of them is number 36, X-O-Man of War 36, and X-O-Man of War 23, 99 cents. Number 17, and these are in like extremely good shape. And this is actually Unity series. Unity Time is Not Absolute Chapter 5 and it's issue number 7. And lastly, here is not Exo-Man Award. This is someone that I knew about the character because this character is in video games also, but I didn't know that they had a comic book series until I started reading Exo-Man Award, and he appeared in a couple issues of Man of War, and he's on Valiant Comics, and I was really excited to have this. It's not a rarity or anything. This copy was only 99 cents, but it is issue number 1 of Turok, Dinosaur Hunter. I was very excited to get this, and yeah, I'd like to get a full collection of Turok also. I think that would be really awesome. Yeah, kind of a fan of these obscure, kind of obscure Valiant comic characters. Alright, on to the video games. I've got stuff here from 4 systems. Yeah, 4 systems. And they're all cartridge based. So, let's get started. First off, I bought some Atari 2600 carts off of a guy on Atari Age, and spent $10 and got 3 carts, and they're really good. We have Venture from Coleco. We have Adventure. So we have Adventure and Venture, and then Solaris. Solaris is awesome. It's an awesome shmup. The other 2 are bare bones RPGs. Next up, I did an amazing pickup. For $20, I got 2 Super Nintendo systems and a stack of games. Now, I can only show you one console, kind of yellow-ish. And the reason I can only show you one console is because I've already sold the other one and I had to ship it today. Like I said, I tried making this video the other day, and I do have a picture of the entire pickup, but yeah, just got the one console. Sadly, I just got one power cord with it. I got 2 RFs, but the owner had lost one of the power cords, so not too big of a deal, but it's going to be harder to sell that one by itself without the other power cord. But I did get some controllers. I got 2 regular controllers. I'm going to sell 1 with each system because I don't need them. And I got this turbo controller from ASCII. That was pretty cool. It's got a little turbo switch for each individual button, including the bumpers, and you can set it to turbo or auto, which I thought was a cool function. I've been playing around with that a little bit. Was glad to have that. I don't know if these are worth anything, but I just kind of wanted it. I'm glad to have it. I'm actually looking for a turbo NES controller too, just because I like to play around with them a little bit on shmups and things. And yeah, then I got this stack of games with those 2 systems. Kind of sort them out here. I got 2 copies of Mario Paint. Only 1 mouse though, but those went with the system that I sold. But do have some other good stuff, other good things here. This is the only other kind of garbage game that I got. And I say garbage, and I'm sorry that if you really like this game. I doubt you do, but I'm sorry if you do. It's NFL Quarterback Club 96. Whatever. I don't have any desire to play that. Next 2 games are a couple of Disney games. One's a Virgin, not Capcom. It's the Lion King. Sorry, my computer screen's over here, so that's why I keep looking over here. The camera's right there, trying to make sure it's not too blurry. Yeah, I shouldn't make excuses. That one is Capcom. The other one is a Capcom one. It's the Great Circus Mystery featuring Mickey and Minnie. Kind of a cool platformer. I played it for a little bit. I think both of these are actually spoken for already. One of my good friends on Atari Age is interested. Haven't traded them yet, but he's very interested in them. And then we got a copy of Street Fighter 2, just regular edition Street Fighter 2, with very few characters on it. I was actually kind of surprised. And then the Turbo Edition, which is the other one that I have boxed, it has quite a few more characters than the regular one, but still not as many as Super Street Fighter 2. So I'd still like to get that one to kind of complete the Super Nintendo collection of all three. Next we have Super Mario Kart. I can't get this one to work. I've read some things online about how to clean these carts. I mean, clearly, when I look at it, it is dirty. I mean, there is like some sticky gook right there, you know, and I haven't tried really hard, you know, but I tried a little bit of rubbing alcohol. I've heard that if you take a little bit of really fine grit sandpaper and kind of clean off the contacts a little bit, it helps. So I'm going to try that, see if I can't get it to work, because I was kind of excited to have that game. Because it's a game that everybody says is really good, and I'm sure it is, but I probably would have never bought just because it's just a little pricey. It'd be not crazy, and I'm not sure how often I'll play it, but I did want to play it, so I'm glad that I got it. Now hopefully I can get it to work. Next I have a copy of Super Mario All-Stars, another copy. This is like my third or fourth copy of this game, and I have gotten rid of every one of them now, and I think I'll keep this one, finally. I'd like to keep one. Same with Super Mario World. I really love this game, but I never played it as a kid because I didn't have a Super Nintendo, but I played it at friends' houses, and I've always loved to play it, and same deal. I've had several copies, and I've sold them to get other things or whatever, so I think I'll actually keep that one now. And last but not least, the gem of the batch, which made this deal more than worth it if it wasn't already, for 20 bucks. Got 2 systems, a mouse for Mario Paint, 2 Mario Paints, all those games I just showed you, and Super Metroid. Yeah, this game is awesome. I've been playing this quite a bit, and I know I've been saying in other videos that Metroid 2 is my favorite Metroid of the series. Well, I haven't beat this yet, but this might have beat out Metroid 2. This is awesome. Because really, though, I think the reason that I like this so much, or like this just as much as Metroid 2, is because the gameplay is very similar, and the graphics are very similar, and it's got basically the same aesthetic. The gameplay is very similar to what it was in Metroid 2, but now it's in color and it's on TV, so it may be better. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, Super Metroid. I've been playing that a lot lately. And next pickup is another system pickup. This is actually a system I didn't have already. Very excited to get this. I'm an 8-bit fan, big fan of the 8-bit series systems. Finally happy to get the other major competitor in the 8-bit world, the Sega Master System. Yeah, there's some awesome games out there for this system that I've played on ROMs and stuff. Phantasy Star, Miracle Warriors, and Ease, and other things that I'd really like to get. Some of those 8-bit RPGs that I'm a big fan of, and now I get to collect them. So that's awesome. And I got the Sega Master System. The controller for this, I really like the controller, but the one that I got is just a tad bit different from the other standard Sega Master System controllers that I've seen out there that have the 2 buttons and the D-pad, the control pad. This one has got 2 things different about it than I've seen on other ones. One of them, the cord usually comes out of the top, similar to the NES controller. On this one, it comes out the side of it, which is not a big deal. I just have to kind of straddle it with my fingers when I play. But so it's not a big deal. It's not really that much different, but it is just a little bit different. It is just a little weird. I would like to get just the standard one with the cord coming out of the top, though. And the other kind of cool variation here is in the middle of the control pad is a hole. And it's a threaded hole. So my assumption is that you screw a joystick into that, so you actually like hold your thumb up here and kind of control it, kind of like a joystick. Maybe I've heard that could be a possibility. So I'd like to find that little joystick just to try it out, and then your standard 1 and 2 buttons. I did get one game for the system. This was from a trade, actually. I traded a gentleman on Atari Age a bunch of stuff, and he sent me the Master System, the controller, the power supply, the video cord, and a golden axe for the Master System. And it is complete. If I can get it open, there we go. It is complete, and the cart is in immaculate shape. Yeah, excited to have that. This version of Golden Axe is good. Not as good as the Sega Genesis version of the game. You can only play as that guy. Can't play as the elf or the Valkyrie. I guess she's a Valkyrie. I don't know. But yeah, so Golden Axe, cool. Next is a strategy guide for a game for the NES that I'm playing right now. It's Ultima Exodus strategy guide. Very cool strategy guide. I really like how in the beginning of the strategy guide it kind of gives you a rundown of what's transpired in the series previously, because this is the third installment of the Ultima series, but the first on the NES. So if you had only played it on NES and never on anything else, you may have not ever known the story, because the other two games were on the PC. So it kind of gives you a little rundown, a little preface on the front page with some really cool artwork, and the story of how Lord British came to be Lord British, and Mondane, your first enemy in Ultima 1, and how you defeat Mondane, and Minax, the enemy in Ultima 2, which is Mondane's girlfriend. And then Exodus, and then got some really nice artwork here, and just more of the story of how Exodus came to power, and blah 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 blah. Some kind of comic book-esque stuff here, and then we start with the strategy guide for the game. Got a bunch of maps and some tips and things. This isn't even the strategy guide itself. I mean, the game is hardcore as it is, and the strategy guide is definitely not going to hold your hand. It's a good strategy guide. It's got some good tips, and it does show you the maps of the dungeons and gives some good tips and things. But even still, it's not really a walkthrough. It is by all definitions a hint book. It's not a walkthrough. It's not a strategy guide necessarily, but it is very cool. And then lastly, for this video, goes too much longer here. Got small stack of NES goodness, all loose, of course. I'm not really a box collector. If I find box games, I'll buy them if they're reasonable. There are some games that I would like to have boxes for, just for collection pieces, but that's beside the point. Games. These are all RPG-ish, action-adventure-ish games, and they are Deadly Towers. I watched Magma WK play through Deadly Towers. I enjoyed it. It's kind of a weird little game, but does seem like a fairly fun game once you get the hang of it. And even he showed that in his Let's Play of the game. It starts off kind of rough, kind of hard, but then as you go and you get more heart containers and better armor and stuff, and you do more attack damage, it gets a little bit easier. Next, picked up Hydlide. Haven't played that one much, just a little bit. I got kind of annoyed with the music, and I know that's been I know that's been harped on in other videos, and I think the Angry Video Game Nerd did something about how the music sucked, and I did watch that, and it does suck. It's really annoying. Next, I got Shadowgate, kind of a point-and-click RPG. Very happy to have Shadowgate. It's one of the ones I've been looking for. And Solstice, kind of a cool little adventure action puzzle game. Another weird game, but it's good. And for those I paid all four of those total to like something like $15. And then lastly, here's one I showed in my previous video, the rare and/or valuable games. But I'll go ahead and show it in my pickup video now. It's Dragon Warrior 3, and I paid $30 for this. And I lucked out on it though, because a guy listed it on Atari Age for $30. Didn't have a picture of it, and I think normally this is like a $50 game-ish on eBay. So for a guy to be listing it on Atari Age for $30, I was a little scared by that, but I was willing to take the risk because it was pretty cheap. So I went ahead and got it, and I am super impressed. I got really lucky. The label is in great shape. I'm assuming it saves. I haven't started playing it yet. I'm assuming it saves because I did throw it in and test it out, and it does come on, and it has the previous owner's or whoever's save file still on it. So we're good there. I think I managed to get everything in this video. We're looking at about 32 minutes long, so I'll just go ahead and end it. I'm kind of tired anyway, but I want to go ahead and get this recorded, just because I've tried to record this now like 4 times, and I keep getting stuff. That's not the reason. It just wouldn't upload is the reason that I've had to do this so many times. But now this last time I added a couple more movies and a couple more books, so I'm gonna just stop talking now. Thanks for watching. That was my pickups video number 11. Thanks.